Hey, good to see you.
Life presents us with multiple paths. But what if we told you there's one path that aligns with your soul's desire and divinely ordained purpose? The Holy Spirit is our guide. By embracing the Holy Spirit's power can lead to profound when we trust in God's plan and invite the Holy. Remember, you have the agency to choose your path.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We're diving deep today, but into something a little different.
Different? How so?
Well, we're exploring a sermon.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's all about, finding your purpose and living with faith as your compass.
It's a rich topic. Lots to unpack there.
Absolutely. And this sermon, there's like this wisdom woven into every single line. It's really something.
It strikes me how this idea of purpose resonates with so many people.
Right.
This longing to feel like our lives have meaning.
Yeah, totally. Like there's got to be more to it than just the day-to-day, right?
Exactly. And this sermon, it kind of offers this roadmap.
Okay, I like that, a roadmap.
It suggests that there's a divine mission waiting for each of us.
Oh, and the speaker actually used this amazing analogy to describe this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They said, imagine God holding out this treasure chest.
Okay.
And it's brimming with gifts just for you.
Wow.
But the catch is we have to choose those gifts wisely. Right?
So it's about making the right choices.
Yeah, we got to figure out which paths actually lead to that treasure.
I love that imagery. It highlights this idea that, we do have free will, we have options.
Absolutely.
But not all those paths are going to lead us to that same sense of fulfillment, to those gifts.
That's so true. And that makes me think, how do we actually find the right path? How do we know we're heading in the right direction?
Well, the sermon talks a lot about seeking guidance.
Okay.
From the Holy Spirit.
Right, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
That's a concept that can mean different things to different people, I think.
Absolutely. It's interpreted in various ways across different faiths. For some, it might be a distinct entity, like a separate being.
Yeah.
For others, it's more like this, like a manifestation of God's power.
Okay.
Or even a sort of universal force of wisdom and intuition.
Interesting. So no matter what your specific belief is, there's this idea of tapping into something larger than ourselves.
Precisely. And the sermon really emphasizes this role of the Holy Spirit as a guide, especially when we're facing those, those big life decisions.
Tricky stuff.
Exactly. It helps us navigate those complexities.
I loved how the speaker described it. It was like...
how did they put it?
They used this analogy of a dance.
No, a dance.
Yeah, inviting the Holy Spirit to lead, to guide our steps.
I like that.
And it's not just about, sitting down and praying for guidance.
Right.
It's about staying open to those subtle nudges, those intuitive feelings in our daily lives.
Those little whispers. Right.
Exactly.
And the sermon suggests that the more attuned we become to that guidance, the more we can experience this profound transformation.
Okay, so we're talking about changing, becoming better versions of ourselves.
Yes. It's about growth, refinement, allowing the Holy Spirit to help us shape who we are.
That sounds great in theory, but part of me wonders, doesn't that make us kind of passive?
How do you mean?
Well, if we're just letting the Holy Spirit lead, what about our own free will? What about making our own choices?
That's a great point, and the sermon actually addresses that. It's not about surrendering control, it's more about aligning our will with a higher purpose.
I see, so it's more like a collaboration.
Exactly. It's about figuring out which choices truly resonate with our truest selves.
With who we're meant to be.
Exactly. And which choices lead us towards that treasure chest, the one we talked about earlier.
Along with all those gifts, yeah. But, even if we're trying to listen to that inner guidance, it's so easy to get distracted, right?
Oh, absolutely.
What about those shiny things that tempt us to stray from the path?
The sermon actually uses a word for that, deceptions.
Oh, deceptions. Okay.
These things that might look appealing at first, but they ultimately lead us away from those true gifts, from our purpose.
The speaker told this story about a man who spent his whole life chasing success, money, status, all that.
Right.
He achieved it all, but he ended up feeling empty, unfulfilled.
Classic tale, right?
Yeah. And the speaker connected it to that biblical story of Esau.
Oh, the one who traded his birthright for a bowl of stew.
Exactly. It was like, he got that immediate gratification, but at what cost?
Yeah, he lost sight of what was truly valuable.
Right. And that made me think, what are those bowls of stew in our own lives?
Ooh, that's a good question. What are those things that we're chasing that might actually be leading us astray?
Things that look good on the surface, but don't really align with our values.
Or bring us lasting happiness?
That's such an important thing to consider. Wow. So we've got purpose, we've got guidance, transformation, and now we got to watch out for those distractions too.
It's a lot to take in, but it's all connected by this underlying thread of faith.
Okay, how's
This
that?
belief that there's something bigger at play, a plan beyond our immediate understanding, even when things get tough.
One thing that really struck me about this sermon was the speaker style.
Oh, yeah.
It was so conversational, almost like they were just like chatting with a friend,
Right, like they were sharing their heart, not just delivering a lecture.
Yeah. And I think that really added to the message.
I agree. That warmth and authenticity, it's so powerful. It makes these complex spiritual ideas feel accessible, relatable.
Totally. Like a wise mentor offering guidance and encouragement.
Precisely.
Well, this deep dive has been fascinating. We've gleaned so much wisdom from this sermon about finding our purpose, listening to our inner guide, and embracing transformation.
It all comes down to making choices that align with our deepest values, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And on that note, as you go about your day, I'd encourage you to think about this. How can you cultivate a sense of connection with that inner wisdom, whatever that looks like for you?
And what choices can you make, even small ones, that bring you closer to your truest self, to that treasure chest of gifts waiting just for you?
That's something to ponder for sure. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
See you next time.
Happy holidays.